Welcome to my updated Halberd build, the pole dancer build. It actually hasn't been that long since I first released the build. It hasn't even been a level cap, but I thought the new evasion system changes still made an update necessary. Just two quick things before I start with the build. This build is focused on solos for me, so I have a few skills which are specifically tailored for solos and don't have any real use in the team fight, but I will mention it if the skills are only for solo purpose, so you shouldn't skill them if you only play in parties. It also saves some skill points, so you don't need to use star gems. At first I will start with the build and just talk about it in theory and about the different uses of the skills. After that, the gameplay starts. At first, I will do, let's call it live, Iconos Ultimate Solo. This is not to show off the build strength, but so I can commentate on it while soloing the boss and show you how to use the different skills with commentary. And after that comes a solo to show the strength of the build, Ultimate Machine, Ultimate Solo. So that will follow in the end, and I will put the timestamps in the comment description in case you just want to see the gameplay commentary or the gameplay to show the build strength. Alright, so I will start with the skill points. It's very basic, nothing really special here. Strength over agility, nothing surprising. For the skills, I will show the star gems and my combos in the end. Blade skills, also not surprising, Warcry to get a 10% attack buff. Often enough in parties you actually don't need this, as you will most likely have other persons spamming it as well, maybe even one warrior, so the buff lasts longer, but yeah. For solos I need it, obviously, because I don't have party members, but in a party you could actually skip it. Long range gives a 10% damage buff to Dragon Tooth. Here it says damage buff to skills dealt from 8 meters or more away, but this actually applies to all skills which have a maximum cast range of 8 meters or further away. So even if I use Dragon Tooth from a 2 meter distance, I will still get the 10% damage buff. So this skill is just a flat out damage buff to Dragon Tooth, doesn't matter the range. Quick Draw is a great skill. I only have a level 5 because I have a shortage on skill points, otherwise I would have it on level 10. But yeah, it gives you, on level 10 it gives you a 30% chance to restore 100 MP every time you use a skill. Decoy Shot is great for immobile bosses for MP recovery. Yeah. But to use Decoy Shot you need 100 critical rate, so you need to adjust your equipment a little bit. Magic skills, yeah, Impact and Final obviously for combo purposes, Impact to halve the MP cost of the next skill used, and Final as a combo ender because Smite combos cost double MP if they don't have a skill in the end, but you don't want to be stuck in the combo after you used your main damage skill, so you just use Final because it will cost too much MP to actually use it, so the combo will just stop and not cost more MP. Guard. Okay, so I did a separate video explaining the evasion system and also showing a lot of numbers. I will link that also in the comment section. So yeah, if you are not familiar with the new evasion system yet, check out the video and the explanation for that one. But yeah, evasion got changed to evasion rate, so I still have this one as a star gem, but only because I already had it before the change. I wouldn't get it again, but because I already had it, I'm still using it. Otherwise, just get this skill level 5 and Mirage Evasion level 10. What Mirage Evasion does is it allows you to evade during a cast time. So for Halberd, for my build, that's mainly the cast of Warcry of Struggle and Decoy Shot. What it also does is you evade during Decoy Shot. The decoy still gets placed in the original position, so it's not placed where you don't want it to. But level 1 gives you a 19 seconds cooldown on the skill to dodge during a cast. That's more than enough. You don't need any more than that. I think actually you only want level 10 on mages, because they just have a lot more cast, especially on final mages. But yeah, level 1 is totally sufficient for us. Okay. Survival, I only use MP boost for obvious reasons. It gives 300 MP. I don't need HP boost because in my solos I use Godspeed Wield and Brave Aura, so I would lose those buffs if I get hit. So I focus on my playstyle not getting hit at all. So, and if I plan on not getting hit, I also don't need to invest into HP. But yeah, in case you want to play a little bit safer, you can get HP boost, also get some HP on your gear, and then get to around 10k HP. Then you actually have a decent chance to survive some hits even with Godspeed Wield. But I prefer to put more into damage. But yeah, the 10k HP version is actually more recommended for newer players or players not that familiar with Halberd yet. But you may need to make your own decision there. Brave Aura gives 20% damage dealt extra and also some weapon attack buff. And on the negative side, it lowers your accuracy, but Halberds don't have any dexterity, so they have very, very low accuracy as well. So it doesn't really matter for us. We hit the bosses through our crits. Brave Aura also gets removed when hit, so yeah, so you also need to be careful there. Dagger skills. Okay, this is the solo part. Don't use this if you don't play solo. The main reason I use dagger skills now is because of double step. Double step gives you a 100% damage buff to your dagger skills after a successful evasion. With manual evasion, you can only successfully evade auto attacks from the boss, and only the aggro holder gets auto attacks from the boss. So in a party you won't even get auto attacks, so you have no chance of activating this. With the auto evasion system, you can actually evade a few AoEs, but I don't recommend it. The manual evasion system just gives you great kiting tools, and I would always prefer it over a boosted Gatling knife. But yeah, because I play solos, I can use manual evasion and double step. So yeah, I use the double step buff to use Gatling knife, amazing throw to give my Gatling knife additional hits, and to give it a 100% damage buff. And on level 1 I can get this buff every 19 seconds. On level 10 I could get it every 10 seconds. Level 10, I would actually like to get level 10, but I don't have enough skill points, so level 1 every 19 seconds will be enough. It has to be enough for now. Next one, battle skills. Okay, I made some cuts here. I use attack up level 10 as a star gem, but yet you don't need whack. The only reason I even put skill points into this is critical up. I could actually put one more skill point into this, but yeah. Critical up gives me +5 critical rate, and I needed to get to my 100 crit to always hit my auto attacks, my throwing knife, my Gatling knife, my decoy shot attacks, or non-crit resistant bosses. Crit resistant bosses are a different topic, but I didn't feel like investing more critical rate for those few ones. But that might change in the future. For now, but for now I only use 100 critical rate. Katana skills, Shikuchi for obvious reasons. As a gap closer to get to the boss again. Two-handed is not recommended at all. You would get way more benefit from using a sub-weapon for the extra stats. And Kairiki, not for the damage. Kairiki gives +100 attack and +25 AMPR. You don't. The 100 attack aren't bad at all, don't get me wrong, but the buff is only 10 seconds. And I don't want to reapply it every 10 seconds, so I only use the 25 AMPR buff to buff my decoy shot, so it gets more AMPR. By the way, I also made a Halberd guide on how to recover MP with a Halberd, where I also went on more detail about the use of Kairiki, decoy shot, Warcry of Struggle, and Chronos Drive. So yeah, check that one out in case you aren't familiar with it. Okay, I don't have anything skilled here, but in case you need a combo opener, another combo opener, you could just put 1 point into Adlib. But yeah, the only reason to use this is as a combo opener, as a 100 MP combo opener. What dancer skills? I also don't have anything here, but in case you play in a party, I would actually recommend to get 1 skill point into Elegant Poise. Elegant Poise is a semi-iframe. At first, it has 2 phases, and only the first phase will activate all the time. So in the first phase you have some damage reduction, and you get saved from certain death. So even if I'm just at a, let's say, very few HP and I get hit by Venina's laser, for example, I still survive with 1 HP. If I get hit during this first phase, the second phase activates and gives me an iframe. But as you can see, the problem of this skill is I survive, this is great. Oh, and it also doesn't work for attacks which have an ailment, so if the attack entails flinch or something like that, it won't work. So, but yeah, you need to, you get hit during the first phase. It's not a full iframe, so you lose your Godspeed Wield and Brave Aura buff. It's a lot better than dying, but it's not optimal. So, but yeah, you could put 1 skill point into this. Halberd skills, okay. Dragon Tooth, obviously, as your main damage dealer. The additional effects are plus 75 critical rate for Dragon Tooth and 100% physical pierce. So Dragon Tooth is a really great skill to fight high defense ultimate bosses. And this is also where Halberd really shines at. Dive Impact level 1, the higher levels only give you damage, but the use of Dive Impact is it has an iframe, a 3-second iframe, so I can dodge any damage. With evasion I can dodge all auto attacks now, but some bosses have like AoEs which go over the whole map, which can't be dodged, so I need an iframe to dodge those in my solos. That's why I use Dive Impact level 1. That also costs only 1 skill point, so it's definitely worth it. I also made a Halberd guide on how to use Dive Impact. I will also link it, so check it out as well. Chronos Drive level 10. I don't use it for the damage, I use it for the MP recovery. Chronos Drive, the way Chronos Drive works is it has 3 starting hits, with which in theory are your main damage hits, but I don't use it as damage, and after that it gives you a certain number of additional hits during a 10-second duration. The number of additional hits depends on your motion speed. On max motion speed you get 13 additional hits, and every hit recovers 30 MP. So in total I can recover 390 MP with Chronos Drive over 10 seconds. So that's my use for Chronos Drive, and it's really great for mobile bosses where Decoy Shot is difficult to use because they move so much. I have this one as a star gem, it's a must-have on level 10. Critical Spear for more critical rate, as I said, to hit my 100 critical rate. I have this one as a star gem as well. It gives it's just a 4 or 5 minute, I'm not sure, attack speed buff, so it's really great. It's plus 500 and plus 25. Actually, I'm not sure on the numbers right now. Warcraft Struggle is great for MP recovery. You need to be below 55% health to use it effectively, and effectively it restores 200 MP. It restores 300 but costs 100, so yeah. Yeah, it's just a great way to get some MP recovery on more mobile bosses. Godspeed Wield for the motion speed. You can stack up Godspeed Wield up to 3 times, and every stack gives 10% motion speed and 300 attack speed. So effectively it gives 35% motion speed on with 3 stacks. So motion speed is kept at 50%, so if you get some attack speed as well, you will be kept at 50% motion speed. But yeah, Godspeed Wield is also the reason why this build is so fragile, as it gives you a lot of negative physical and magical resistance. But motion speed is just great to use and a lot of fun. Assassin skills, Backstab level 1. A lot of people took Backstab out of their builds, but I think this is a big mistake. Backstab is still really useful. It's a faster animation than evasion, and you can spam it more easily. Also, you don't have unlimited evasion charges. So for spam purposes, and sometimes when my evasion charges are low, or if I need to escape really fast, I very much prefer Backstab. I used to have Demon Claw as a second DPS skill, like a ranged second DPS skill for when I can't reach the boss due to spikes or anything, but I have Gatling Knife for that now, so I don't use Demon Claw anymore. Yeah, that was it for the skills. My star gems quickly here. Yeah, like I said, light armor mastery. because I already had it before the evasion system changes, I wouldn't get it again. Throwing knife level 10 is important for solos because on level 10 it becomes 0 MP cost and it adds normal attack proration. So I can prorate on the boss without getting close, but it doesn't recover MP. So yeah, that's the drawback, but otherwise it's a really great skill, but you don't really need to use it in team fights. Yeah, attack up level 10 just to save some skill points. Reflex level 10 as a combo opener, but as a combo opener level 1 ad lib would totally suffice. You wouldn't need to waste a star gem slot or a lot of skill points on reflex, but the new use, the reason it is also level 10, is your evasion recharge countdown, which you can see right here. You can see it's 1.6 seconds for me. It goes up every time you use evasion. And reflex, if you just use it every once in a while in a boss fight, it brings the cooldown down again. The cooldown over time will go up to 10 seconds, and every time I use reflex, I have for the 10-second duration of reflex a 4-second charge time. So instead of just 1 charge in 10 seconds, I can get in those 10 seconds 2.5 charges back. So that's really helpful. Yeah, but yeah, I'll also show that in more detail in my evasion system review. Star gems. Yeah, Halberd mastering quick aura, also just to save skill points. I have some other star gems which I use for solos. You don't need them at all for party play, but I will show them to you anyways. Javelin can be great for flinch. It has a 75% flinch chance on level 10. Or for example, it can inflict ailments if you use different element weapons. That's how I soloed Crystal Titan, because he's very weak to freeze. So I used a water element Halberd and magic javelin, which inflicts freeze with a water element, so he took a lot more damage from my attacks. Smash, another 75% flinch chance. You can see the use of it in my King Piton ultimate solo. Sonic Wave for a 50% tumble chance. It also has a lot of range, only 100 MP, so it's spammable. Can be also really helpful. Well, Play Dead, I sometimes use it for party play, if I don't have a good day and die often. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was it. No, never mind, I forgot one sleep trap. Where is it? There we go. Okay, sleep trap can be interesting. The main difficulty with bosses is if a boss is put to sleep, it heals rapidly. So I use it in my Cutstow ultimate solo because at 75 and 25% HP, he goes back to the middle and starts to spawn adds. So just closely before I hit that HP percentage, I put a sleep trap in the middle. So as soon as he went back to the middle, he was put to sleep. I interrupted, therefore, his summon, and then just quickly attacked him again so he wouldn't heal too much. Another possible use for solos would be if you place it in the beginning, put the boss to sleep, and then you can calmly set up all your buffs and the boss can't attack you. But yeah, the use, it's a very rare use. I don't use it often, and it's only for solos as well. Okay, so combos left. I have 4 main combos. This obviously is as the main damage combo, 500 MP. This one as a more spammable version, and also to reapply Godspeed Wield and Warcry. It's a 110% or 130% damage combo, I'm not sure, and it only costs 100 MP, so yep. But yeah, you obviously need to be more careful when you use this one because it will take longer. Here we have my Gatling knife combo now, and you can see reflex as an opener, so I just use reflex once in a while to get my evasion recharge down again, and also here so I can get the Gatling damage off. This is a 300 MP combo, I think. I basically don't use the first combo. Here my MP recharge combo Kenriki to give the 25 AMPR to my decoy shot for obvious reasons, and then Chronos Drive for the extra 390 MP recovery over 10 seconds. I have a swift tag on Chronos Drive, but it doesn't serve any use because I'm at max motion speed. so at max motion speed the swift attack doesn't do anything anymore. Okay, so far for the skills, just the food left. Here you can see I myself cook weapon attack. It's not that high level yet, but well. The great thing about cooking weapon attack is also I can also use it for my mage. Weapon attacks works for both physical and magical classes. Then obviously attack MP recovery. To get better recovery with my decoy shot and my auto attacks. Max MP attack and critical rate to get to my 100 crit. You could, for example, attack plus 72, you could change it with, I don't know, strength, agility, or you could also put, if you want to use more HP to play a bit more safely, you could also use HP food right there. So, equipment. You can use elemental halberds, it's not necessary. But yeah, these are the stats you will want for a normal halberd, at least right now. 5th anniversary is coming soon, so that might change. Xls right here, most people use a combination of Martula, this one right here, it's great for the Anticipate, which helps you hit even if the boss evades, attack MP recovery and attack, and most people use Grymol here for more damage. For solos, yep, Grymol is better, but in parties I very much prefer this one. The damage isn't too much lower, actually it's just a tiny bit. And it also gives minus aggro. If you really spam your combos with a halberd, you will generate a lot of aggro, so this helps your tank to keep aggro. For the sub-weapon I use the little Empress dagger. It gives some evasion recharge, but mainly I want it for the critical rate plus 10 to get to my 100 critical rate. If you have enough critical rate, or say, well, 90 critical rate is enough for me, well, I still recommend 100 critical rate, but well, then you have also the option to use odd-shaped knife, which gives some crit damage, flat and percentage, or the fallen angel dagger, but the problem is it has some recoil, so it gives better damage, but it gives you some recoil, and I'm running such a low HP build that I can't really afford to use any recoil. But that might be an option for you if you want a 10k HP version. For my armor, perfect would be attack plus 10%, but well, they cost a lot more, so I don't use it. Here, Tuskcock just for more damage, some MP recovery, attack MP recovery, and Usami for a combination of MP and attack. Unsheath attack, halberds don't need that, they don't have any unsheath attacks. Okay, Beerhead, yeah, also for the critical rate. In theory, you could, this is, the Xls are not for halberd purposes, this is not halberd equipment for me, but yeah, in theory you could also use full beard, but then you need to get the 15 critical rate somewhere else, for example from the Sailor Sauger Xl, which gives 15 critical rate. That would be an option, you could use this, but I prefer this one. Yep, I use Baphomeler for the short and long range damage, and Yashiro Azuki Standard, also some minus aggro attack speed, short range damage and attack percent. It's just a perfect combination for halberds actually. If you only use your skills from halberd in the 7 meter range, so you don't go into long range, you only stay into short range, you could actually use Mega Alpoker. It gives short range damage plus 6%, so it's the same, and 300 MP and 300 HP, because you can see I'm at 2k MP, but when I use Godspeed Wield, each stack of Godspeed Wield reduces your max MP by 100, so with 3 stacks of Godspeed Wield I'm only at 1.7k MP. So if you are sure you're only using Dragon Tooth in short range, you can use Mega Alpoker instead, so you keep your 2k MP even with Godspeed Wield active. Yep. I use 2 rings here. This one, for damage purposes, I prefer it very much over Dark Power, by the way. Tuskcock and Guignol just for damage. But yeah, if you don't want to use Beerhead, you could use Full Beard and put Sailor Sauger in here. Then I have another one, which you mainly only need for solos. It is here. Hallucination Spore. The minus aggro is also great, and for teamfights, and Tumble unavailable. Some bosses have anti-flinch, anti-tumble mechanics, and if you tumble them, they launch some nasty attacks, which are really difficult to dodge. So for some solos, I will use this one to not trigger those dangerous attacks. Okay, so far for the build. Now let's jump into the gameplay. At first, like I said, I will start with the Iconus Ultimate solo with commentary, and then afterwards show you an Ultimate Machiner solo to show you what the build is capable of. I also choose Ultimate Machiner on purpose because it is a neutral boss, so you can see the power of this build without elemental weapons. So here we are at Iconus. Before solo, you could actually lower your HP to below 50%. So you can directly start using Warcraft Struggle. I don't need Warcraft Struggle for Iconus because he's just so stationary and Decoy Shot will suffice, but in theory you could do it. Okay, let's do it Ultimate. In the beginning you will see me spam Godspeed Wield. You saw that I have Godspeed Wield in a combo, but before I attack the boss, combos don't activate, so I can freely get my 3 stacks up. So you can see I'm also making some distance, so I can safely cast all my buffs. So there we go. First evasion. Now you can also see the dagger buff on top active. Here boosted Gatling knife, and now you can see the debuff that I can only use it again in so many seconds. Yeah. Okay, let's place a Decoy Shot next for the MP recovery. It's also nice if you cast it further away than 4 meters, so Chronos Drive doesn't activate directly, so you have it easier, some paration here. So you have it easier to place it and time it right and not die. So I can precast my combo now because I know his AoE will be finished before I land Dragon Tooth. It just helps me to get off my damage faster. Okay, this one was actually not optimal because I didn't have the Gatling 100% damage buff up. Now I have it up, so now I can use it properly. Quickly dodge. Now do the quick combo right here. Precast again. So you can see Iconus is really easy. It's not a challenge, it's just to show you the purpose of this build and how to use the skills in a solo, in case you want to try solos for yourself. Okay, so let's jump into the real solo right now, Ultimate Machiner Ultimate. I hope you enjoy.